Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Living with Amen. Today, I have decided to touch on a topic which is very dear to me and close to me because I experienced it at a time in my life that I least expected it. Yes, if you see the headline, it's talking about PCOS and thyroid. Okay, so let's get this first. You might be wondering, why have I never spoken about this on my Instagram, though I share my life with you, whatever is happening. But why have I avoided speaking about this topic? Why have I never mentioned about what I've been going through? It's not like I had PCOS since like forever. I got this when I delivered my second daughter, Elena. Before that, I didn't know what PCOS is. I didn't know the P of PCOS. I didn't know what thyroid is. Though my parents have thyroid, but I had just heard it from them. I haven't experienced it myself. But when my daughter was born, I got the shock of my life, coming to find out that I have PCOS. So let's look at how it all started. So let's get on this journey of PCOS with me. Like I said, I did not have this PCOS from before. I got it after my daughter Elena was born. So what happened after my second born daughter was born that led me to get PCOS? So my daughter Elena was born and she was a reflex child. For those of you who don't know, a reflex child, when a reflex child is born, their stomach opening is not closed, so it's partially open. So what happens is when they drink milk, and if you put them down, it gives them uneasiness and they spit up. So Elena needed to be held upright the whole night, or she needed to be kept upright, and then it went on for 6 months. So I think the stress of it, the sleepless nights, and keeping her upright all the time, and also the fact that Elena was very attached to me. She wouldn't go to anybody, unlike my daughter Hanin, who was, very social from a young age, going to everybody, anybody could handle her, but Elena wanted all of me. So I think what might have caused it is the stress that came with this, causing my hormonal imbalance and leading me to PCOS. It all started after Elena was about 5 months, and I started gaining weight. I didn't know why I was gaining weight. I gave it up to pregnancy and stress and all that. And one fine day, when I saw that I was depressed, I didn't know what to do, honestly. I did not even like seeing myself in the mirror because I have never seen myself like that. After delivery, I lost all my weight. I came back to what I was, and then suddenly, bam, it hit me. Mood swings, feeling tired all the time, fatigue, and not willing to do anything, not in the mood to do anything. No matter how much I was sleeping or resting, but I was waking up tired. Then PCOS hit me. I was diagnosed with PCOS. It was a very new territory for me. I didn't know how to go about it. And I feel it's very hard to get a specialist who can help you navigate PCOS. So I started doing what everybody starts doing. I started watching my diet. It's not like I was eating unhealthy. My dinner timings were at 7, between 7 and 7:30 p.m. But then I was like, okay, let's do what we can. Tried dieting, tried exercising. Now, for those of you who know me, know I really am not fond of workouts, but I still was pushing myself, but I was not enjoying. Like, I had to drag myself, when the trainer used to come home, and I used to wish, I pray today the trainer doesn't show up. I pray today the trainer doesn't show up. That was my condition because I just couldn't handle it. And I was so disappointed that why did I get PCOS? Like, seeing myself, seeing my body. And what made it worse was, people indirectly asking me, are you pregnant? Because if you have PCOS, you have the PCOS belly. You have the PCOS belly pouch. And some would ask me directly. I've had people message me, tell me, oh, congratulations, we were expecting, we're so happy for you. And I would be like, I am not expecting, I have just gained weight because of my hormonal imbalance. Or they would indirectly ask my family members, Is your sister pregnant? Wow. Is your daughter pregnant? Is your sister-in-law pregnant? And I may have put uh, a brave front in front of everybody, but inside I was hurting. I was depressed. I would I would purposely buy plus size outfits because outfits just wouldn't fit me. I would see my old outfits and I would cry. I would cry. I saved them in the hope that I would lose weight one day and wear them. And one final day, I just decided, you know what, that's it. I'm never going to fit into these clothes. I took them all out with a heavy heart. I myself know how I took it out. I took them out. And then I finally decided to take charge of my life. I said, this is not going to work. So I was diagnosed with PCOS in 2021. I only took my PCOS seriously in 2024. So between 2021 and 2024, mid 2024, I was just going with the flow. I was having inositol. I was trying everything out. Nothing worked. And then 2024, I took charge of my life. I said, I need to get better because this is not going to work. This mood swings, constant feeling of fatigue, not feeling good about yourself and everything. So I said, I need to take charge of my life. So, what did I do to take charge of my life? First, I did my own research. I researched. I followed up cases of people suffering from PCOS. And you have to know, PCOS is not same for all. My PCOS falls under insulin resistance. Okay, you have different type of PCOS, whereby a woman can be menstruating but still cannot conceive, no ovulation. You can have a woman with PCOS with no periods at all. That's what happened to me. My cycles were off 9 months, 1 year, 6 months. That is what was happening to me. So my insulin levels were spiking. I wasn't realizing how and when. I was just taking medications the way I was like I heard inositol. And because if you go to any doctor, most doctors are going to put you on birth control pills, and birth control pills are not the solution for PCOS. It is just a temporary solution but not a permanent solution. So first thing is to identify what type of PCOS you have. Is it insulin resistance? It is a hormonal? Is it ovaries? Whatever it is, you have to first find out what type of PCOS you are suffering from. From there, you can go further and now streamline what works for you. Still did not work for me. I stopped that. I used to have body pains. My feet would ache. I wouldn't be able to wear shoes. I had to wear like either Crocs or Skechers. I wouldn't be able to wear any other shoes because my feet would hurt. In the morning, I wouldn't be able to come down of bed. I would come down like an old lady like this because my back would hurt, my legs would hurt. And after like I come down is when I come back again to come. This was not the life I wanted for myself. My personal relationship went for a toss as well because you just don't feel like doing anything. Your moods are haywire, oh, you're always tired, you have no energy left for anything. I had nothing to give my kids as well, my children. Like, mommy is always tired, but mommy, you slept as well, but why are you always tired? It started affecting me in a very big way. And I said, this cannot go on. So, first, I started with the way I ate. Like I told you, we have early dinners. We don't eat late. But I changed the way I saw food and my relationship with food. I did not stop carbs. I just reduced carbs and how I ate the carbs. So I would first start with fiber, protein, and then last would be carbs. I would indulge once in a while whenever I would feel like, but going on metformin, changing the way I looked at food, my relationship with food, it changed how I saw myself. The changes came. It started. I started feeling better. Not physically. Physically took a while. But mentally, it started getting better. And to that, I added walking in my routine. Mere 30 minutes plain walking. Nothing else. No funky diets, nothing. And you won't believe what those 30 minutes of walking did to me. It changed my whole course of how I looked at PCOS and how my body reacted. My body started showing positivity. I saw the changes. I saw I had more energy. My cravings went down. I didn't crash. I continued with what I was doing. And that is very important, to have consistency in what you do. So I chose one thing, which was walking, and I was consistent in that. The days I couldn't make it to walk for 30 minutes, I would even go for 10 minutes, but I would go because that was something I was able to do. That was something was in my control. That was something I enjoyed, and that was something that brought changes to my life as PCOS. But my journey did not end here. While I was healing internally, my mood started clearing up, my mood swings, my fatigue started reducing, but still that weight was not budging. Physically, I was still not losing weight. There was something that was off with my body. When I went for checkup, I found out that I have thyroid. So, it can be genetically, or sometimes PCOS also tends to mask the symptoms of thyroid. But mine came genetically, the results came out very high, and I had to start thyroid medicines immediately. When I started taking thyroid medicines, that inflammation, that weight that was there from thyroid, my hormonal imbalance that was not going, it started coming down. Not the weight, the inflammation that was built up in my body. And gradually, that set a lot of things for me and changed my life. So sometimes it's not about trying harder, it's about understanding your body better. And if you're going through PCOS right now, I want you to know you are not alone. This is just my story. But in this series of PCOS and thyroid, I'll share everything I have learned so you can find what works for you. But now remember, what works for me is not a must that it works for you. Like I said, first you need to identify what type of PCOS you have. And for that, I would say, please make sure you're getting your checkups done timely. If you're having PCOS, there are certain tests that you need to know that are related to PCOS, which are monitored over time. So you need to get your checkups done in a timely manner. If it's every 3 months, every 6 months, but make sure you are getting the right support and the right help for your body, for your bodily needs, and what type of PCOS you're suffering. This was the end of episode 1 on my PCOS and thyroid journey. I hope I was able to give you guys a little insight. By no means I'm a doctor. By no means I can tell you what to do and what works for you. But I can share my journey, because even if 1% of my journey makes a difference in your life, it will help me and you both together. I would be happy that 1% of my journey has helped someone. So this is the end of episode 1. See you for episode 2 next week. And if you like my videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my page, Living with Amen, both on Instagram and YouTube. Till then, see you. Bye.